let me say the thing you've been tired, too tired to say out loud. It was never really about the schedule. The full plate isn't what's breaking your heart. What's breaking your heart is the quiet fear that while you've been holding everyone else's life together, you've been missing your own. Now, hear me, sis, because I am going to come back and tell you why that fear is a liar. But first, I have to tell you the truth about how you got here. And it's not the one you've been telling yourself. You did not just get lost because you stopped caring. You got lost because you care so much and you've cared so much for so long that you never once gave yourself room to breathe. Every yes started as love. That is not a flaw. That is a big heart that's been running without rest for years. For years. So let me ask you the question this whole episode is going to address. When was the last time you felt the ground under your feet? Not your calendar, your feet, your actual life, the one underneath you, close enough to feel. When did you last stand somewhere completely ordinary, your kitchen, your backyard, a parking lot at the end of a long day, and you were all the way there? Felt the air on your skin? Heard the room around you? All of you in one place at one time? And if you had to reach for it, if you came up empty in answering those questions, don't you dare call yourself ungrateful. Pull up a seat or take a moment and hang out with me instead. Because something has been trying to get your attention lately. Your body, your spirit, a loss, a morning you couldn't sleep through. And it's not condemnation, it's an invitation. Before we're done today, I'm going to tell you the boldest, truest thing I know. You have not missed your life, and it is not too late. If you and I haven't met yet, I'm Dr. Phyllis, and I'm your alignment coach here at Below the Circle. Now, if some of you have been around, you're like, Dr. Phyllis, wait a minute, you were the landing coach. Well, just like I tell you, God continues to work, and He wants me to go even deeper, even bolder to help you. And it's not just about landing. He wants me to help you also learn how to take back off, resume flight, resume your life, but not living it circling. He wants me to help you learn how to live whole, aligned, and free. So, with that in mind, I am now the alignment coach. Now, I want to be clear about what that means because it's the whole heart of what we do here at Below the Circle. My job is not, as I said, to just teach you how to land and stay down. Collapsing was never the goal. You could have done that years ago. My job is to help you come down out of the circling, get realigned with the woman God created, birthed, and called you to be, and then take off again, but not back into the exhausting life you've been flying, into your real life, whole, aligned, and free. And I'm not telling you this from the tower looking down on you. I've lived in circling for a long time myself. So let's just talk the way we would if we were sitting having coffee, a cup of tea, in comfy chairs, just sitting across from each other. I want to let you know you didn't check out, you just cared too much. And that's not a bad thing. This is the thing I want you to hear, sis, because so much of the noise out there gets it backwards. You did not end up here because you stopped paying attention to your life. You ended up here because you paid attention to everyone else's. The circling came from your goodness, not your absence. Every role you're carrying began as a yes from love, from a good intention. You didn't just drift up to where you are, you climbed one good reason, one good deed at a time until the giving, almost in a way, just became a routine. As they say, it became hardwired into a rhythm you couldn't step out of. That's not a character flaw. That is a big heart that never once got the chance to breathe. And here is what it is quietly costing you. You keep going. You tell yourself rest is coming after the to do list, after everyone's cared for, after this season finally calms down. Yet in the meantime, you live. You live just above your own life. You see it, you provide for it, you keep it running, but you don't get to feel it. The morning quiet comes and goes, and you're already 3 tasks ahead on your schedule. You've hit the ground running. The people you love most get the most efficient version of you, yet almost never the most present one. Yes, there are some weeks you feel like you're flying on autopilot. I'll use that word because you and I both recognize it. But I want you to hear me. Autopilot is only and has only really been a descriptor, a word that describes what's really going on. It's how the circling feels on the inside, yet it's not the heart of what's really going on and feels kind of out of balance. The heart of it, sis, is something far deeper. And we have to go there together. And I'm here to go there with you because it is a sore place, it's a tender spot. But let me show you what I mean by sharing with you a night I will never forget. This is the night that I felt the ground again. It was after a no in that famous story that some of you have heard before, after a leadership position went to someone else. And I want to be honest with you about what came next because it wasn't surrender, not at first. I went looking for quick fixes, new plans, because that's what we do, isn't it? Even when God grounds us, He makes us land, we stand on the runway drafting a new flight plan. And it was only when I ran out of fixes, out of plan Bs, out of my own ideas, that I finally said, okay, Lord, your plan, not mine. And I found myself, sis, one night, not long after that, standing in my backyard, nothing special going on that night. I wasn't journaling. There was no agenda. There was no plan. It was just me standing outside, stars bright, and the wind was blowing. And all at once, I felt a crispness in the air. The air smelled clean. And as I looked up again, the stars were shining even brighter. There was a calm in the air. And all at once, for the first time in a very long time that I can remember, all five of my senses were in the same place at the same time. I could actually feel the wind on my face. And sis, what happened next? It wasn't just a feeling of peace. It was a recognition, a deep recognition. The fact that I used to love doing this on a regular basis. I used to love going in the backyard at night or early in the morning when it's still dark to feel the stillness, the wind on my face. But yet, somewhere over the years, all that stopped. Not the wind never stopped. I stopped feeling it. You see, altitude and flying at a high altitude had been quietly costing me the very moments I used to love. And what's really sad about that is I never even noticed them leaving. Yet that night, standing there, feet on the ground, wind on my face, I knew one thing for certain. I wanted more of those moments. Not someday, not after everything was finished and everything on the to do list was done. I wanted more of those moments right now. Now, your backyard might not be a literal, actual backyard. Maybe it's the morning quiet before the house wakes up, the walk you used to take, the music you used to actually hear. So ask yourself, being gentle with yourself, what did you used to love to do that flying at high altitude, circling, took from you quietly, one day at a time? Because hear me, the wind never stopped blowing, the ground never went anywhere. They've been waiting for you to come down. I want to say that again. The wind never stopped blowing. You just stopped feeling it. This is key because when I stood in my backyard and realized the wind had been blowing the entire time, that I was the one who stopped feeling it, something stirred in me, stirred in my spirit that I think you may know too. It wasn't only peace, it was grief. A small, sharp grief for all the nights I had missed. So I went from the excitement of reconnecting with something I loved, yet it turned to this grief of all the nights, all the mornings I had missed. I grieved for the moments that had been right there in front of me while I flew right past them. And so it's real important for you, like me, like I had to name that grief plainly because it's the very thing under your full plate that you've been afraid to say out loud. That quiet emptiness you feel, it isn't just emptiness, it's grief, it's regret, it's the fear that you've been missing out on your own life, your own growth, a relationship you didn't get to have, time with people who won't always be here, the simple joy of the one life you're given. And if I can be even more honest, sis, because I see you and I care, underneath even that is a deeper ache. The fear that you haven't become who God created, birthed, and called you to be. And that cut goes real deep. And most women never let themselves say it out loud. So let me say it for you. And then let me tell you the truth that answers it. Because it does have an answer. And it's the reason I built this whole thing. The whole below the circle. You haven't missed it. It's not too late to realign. Now, hear me, sis. Nothing has been wasted. Not 1 year of it. Not the giving, not the striving, not the long detour that felt like it took you off course. God has been at work in all of it the whole time, the entire time, even in the seasons that felt like nothing but circling. You have not missed out on your life. The wind is still blowing, the ground is still there. And the woman God made you to be did not disappear while you were busy carrying everyone else. She's been right here, grounded, waiting for you to come back into alignment with her. Because that's really what it's about. Not just feeling the ground for one nice moment and calling it a day. It's coming down, getting realigned with who you actually are. And then taking off again into your life, yet whole and aligned and free. Living life in a different way, moving a different way, navigating a different way, responding instead of reacting to the seasons and sometimes what feels like the turbulence of life. The landing is the only beginning. Alignment is what landing is for. We have to come down. You have to come down and land so you can gain alignment. Now, I teach the what and the why here in the podcast, but the deeper work, the realigning, the honest look at everything you've been carrying, learning what roles are truly yours to keep and which ones were never yours to begin with, that's the type of work that is done like a plane is done in a hangar. You know, for a plane, there's the hangar where they do all the maintenance and repairs and the checking all the gauges. And that is what we call a line. A line is our coaching community for our below the circle. A ground crew that has flown your circle, has flown the sky encircling like you. And a circle of women crossing the very same threshold you're standing on right now. It's not a retreat from life, it's a realignment within it. You don't have to leave your life to change it. And it's not a place that we create that we want you to feel bound, like one more commitment, one more to-do list, one more to do on your list. It's a place that is here for you to support you, uplift you, and inspire you. The doors aren't open quite yet, but they are on their way to be open very, very soon over the next weeks. We are still preparing it, the runway, for you to come in and join a line. If a line is something that you would be interested in, go to the belowthecircle.com and sign up, reserve your spot in line, to stay informed of all the upcoming announcements and news about when we will be officially opening the doors to Align. We would love to have you. When you sign up and reserve your spot, you will receive a special video that I've made just for you called Your Clearance to Land. Again, go to the belowthecircle.com. Now, before we go today, I want to give you one thing to do and follow up to our episode coaching. Just one, not a system, not a practice. It's one thing I want you to do today. Sometime today, I want you to find one ordinary moment and come all the way back into it. It could be step outside, stand still for 60 seconds. Don't look for something to fix that you see around you. Don't journal it. Don't turn it into a major project. Don't overthink it. Just go outside. Or pick one thing you used to love to do and just do it and let yourself feel the joy that you did it. For me, it was the air. Maybe that's for you. Maybe it's experiencing the quiet of something, quiet moment in the house. Maybe it's just getting that cup of coffee and tea and going to sit down and say, for that couple of minutes, I am going to just sit down and enjoy everything about this cup of tea, everything about this cup of coffee. Maybe it's your smoothie. You just take the moment to focus on that smoothie, how it tastes, why you enjoy it, and what you're doing for your body by having your protein powder or your fruits or veggies in there. Maybe it's stepping out during the day at work and just going out for a couple minutes when you feel like your day is just like, you feel like you're circling. Maybe it's closing the door to your office for a couple minutes. To be honest, maybe it's that walk to the bathroom and you just take that moment to just recenter your mind. And a good one, sis, is before you go into the house, after you've probably driven on two wheels, maybe it's before you go in the house, or maybe it's before, you're on your way to get the kids. You use that time to just kind of like really enjoy the moment, maybe turn the radio off, just or turn some music on that you used to jam to. Put that music on, jam in that car so that you can feel alive. Before the kids come in, and as I said, you've been driving on two wheels to go pick them up. The kids, the grandkids, or your godchildren, or whoever could be going to pick up another family member you have to pick up, or a friend. But allow yourself a moment. And I call these landing moments. Call yourself to land, but it really means for you to align, to touch the ground. So I want you to do that. You will be amazed how it helps you feel renewed, refreshed, and alive. That's what I want you to do. Now, if this episode has sparked something in you and made you look at something you've been carrying for a long time without words for it, please share this episode with another woman who you love, who's been giving from a big heart for so long, she's forgotten the sound of her own. She's forgotten the sound of her own heart. She doesn't need another task on her plate. She needs to hear that she hasn't missed it, that it's not too late. That's how we do it here in Below the Circle. Nobody comes down alone and nobody takes off alone. We land together, we fly aligned together as well. Until next time, sis, remember the wind is still blowing. The ground is still there. And it's not too late. Come on down so you can take off again, whole, aligned, and free. Until next time, bye now.